Tanchi Bonswear and welcome to the Serfs, friends. I'm your friendly neighborhood Lance, and yes, before you say anything, I have lost a little bit of weight. If you want to know my secret, it was just buying into Red Pill ideology. That's right, Red Pill, MGTOW, you name it, any of those horrifying creeps that come out there telling you this is the way to be a true masculine man, they were actually right. It turns out I was a sub 5, I wanted to get the Stacey of my dreams, and I haven't been drinking, so that's basically it. I haven't been drinking as much alcohol. I actually just wanted to take a little bit of time off alcohol in general. Not that I don't enjoy the occasional social beer with friends and all that kind of stuff, but it's pretty remarkable keeping the same exercise schedule as before, but my substitute being I no longer drink actually resulted in this. And boy, have my relatives and friends let me know about it, because it's great that every single time that you walk up to someone, they're like,
"Whoa, you've lost a lot of weight. You look great. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you."
And you're like, "Thank you. Sorry, what was wrong with how I was before?" I don't mind either version of me, I'll be honest with you. It's just, it seems like a weird thing. Kind of cringe. And the reason I bring up cringe is because today we're going to be talking about social media companies. And is there anything more cringe than the way that these AI-driven social media networks utilize us as commodities in order to sell us as a product and then basically sell off our information and data to third parties? It's not great. And it doesn't matter if it's the Facebook who's doing it, or if it happens to be any new disgusting aberration of Hitler's bunker, aka Twitter, aka whatever that weird man in the space Karens wants to call it at any given time. Social media companies, they all have a similar thing. They all want to commodify us as products, and it doesn't matter if it happens to be Facebook or Twitter or TikTok. I bring up TikTok because we're going to be looking today at some TikTok cringe, aka the worst and the best of the network. Because if you're not someone who watches TikTok, and good for you, every social media thing has its pros and cons. For Instagram, you may suddenly feel really depressed when you use it because all of a sudden every single friend that you have seems to have some wondrous, miraculously incredible life, and you're like, whoa, mine isn't that great. When it comes to TikTok, I do want to quickly say that TikTok is like anything else. Sometimes it can really reaffirm my faith in humanity by really showing how much talent people can have and parsing it into a very small, short little video. And then at other times, it does the exact opposite, where I'm like, oh my, conspiracy theories are spreading at such a rapid pace so quickly now, thanks to this, that it's just downright frightening. No, the forest fires are not starting up because of space lasers or some secret organization of anti-Semitic nonsense that you want to spew. It happens to be because conditions are way drier now because of climate change, which makes fires spread much faster, burn quicker, and as there's more wind as well to travel those fires, well, you get the summer that we're having now. Anyways, I digress. This episode's not about being upset or depressed, it's about having fun. We're going to be looking at the best and the worst of TikTok and what it has to offer, and if you're someone who hasn't ticked or talked in your life, well then, hey, this segment is for you. I present to you, friends, submitted for your approval, r/TikTok cringe, so that we can take a look at some of the most cringy moments in TikTok history. Although some of them will be incredibly wholesome, some of them will be, I'm sure, outright disgusting, but this will be a good foray into the world of what some are calling the TikTok. First off, we have Snoop Dogg getting fans from an early age.
My feelings matter.
To be than myself.
There's no one better to be myself.
Today is gonna be an amazing day.
Today's gonna be an amazing day.
My feelings matter.
My feelings matter.
I get better every single day.
I get better every single day.
I choose to feel happy.
I choose to feel happy.
My family loves me so much.
My family loves me so much.
I care about others.
I care about others.
I learn from my mistakes.
I learn from mistakes.
I'll be honest with you, it's kind of nice to see such wholesome material coming out this side of the internet. Because the internet, I mean, it's a cesspool of usually reinforced, what's the word, negativity. Yeah, just hyper-synthesized negativity into the most concentrated form, injected directly into the veins, and that's what a lot of the internet is. And so it's really lovely to see a version like this, where you get to see the happiness of a whole bunch of kids enjoying a very wholesome version of Snoop Dogg, which is wild, because I guess Snoop Dogg's one of the only people who was able to transcend almost every single genre and medium. I mean, the man has both produced pornography and has also made kids programming. So, I mean, he's done it all. What can you say? The stare down she gives him as she walks away.
What's something that you really hate about a guy?
When I'm trying to go to the bathroom on 6th Street and they're like, hey, can I ask you a question?
You? Well, y'all fucking.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why this makes me so happy. Because I despise this genre. It's just the worst thing. There's like an entire genre that is becoming more and more popular. I mean, the early days of Sneeko were basically what made these things like really pop off on the internet. But it's usually typically dudes interviewing women outside of clubs and bars and then asking them questions and then trying to frame the questions in such a way that they're going to say something in which they can use later to be like, hey, see how women don't care about men? Hey, look at these uppity bitches or things like that. And it's always just the worst. It's just like low-tier garbage. So it's just it's lovely not only to see one of those backfire on someone, but to see it's done so spectacularly, and then this evidence still exists. Like I'm sure this video was uploaded because of whatever he says afterwards, but that doesn't matter for our enjoyment right now. This is called Words Cannot Express How Much I Love This TikTok of Stacey Abrams visiting Target. Target, as you know, has been the centerpiece of the culture wars lately, so this should be quite interesting to see.
She's here, baby. Aren't you excited? Wait a minute. Aren't you excited to see her? Thank you. Look, baby. Tell me your name. Hi. I feel like crying. I'm not gonna cry.
I can't help, like, what's the Marjorie Taylor Greene equivalent of this? You know, she goes into like a Cracker Barrel and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm beloved by all of y'all. Do y'all hate the Jews as much as I do? Do y'all hate the queers as much as I do? Is it going to be like one of those? I mean, would you even be able to put this kind of music? Could you, like, I'm just wondering, could you do a Marjorie Taylor Greene and still make the entire thing, like, in any way wholesome? Or even an attempt at wholesome? A crumb of wholesome?
I'm Stacey. I'm not gonna cry either. I voted for you. Thank you. Hey. Hi. Y'all voted? Okay, y'all need to find people and get them to vote. Thank you. So I am at Target and I ran into none other than Stacey Abrams. And if you are not here, you need to make sure you go out and vote. Don't waste your time. Look, it's time to get this done. If you want lower housing prices, better economics, if you want more money in your pocket, more opportunity in your communities, more freedom in your lives, I'm the one. She says so. Somebody that's for us. Make sure you get out and vote. Thank you.
I mean, there's obviously a very long discussion I could go into about the politics and policies of Stacey Abrams, but I'm just talking again from a purely wholesome-o-meter. That one obviously ranks pretty high in the wholesomeness, and everyone seemed to be having a good time. Again, I'm curious what the equivalent would be to have a similar TikTok, except it be with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Only time will tell. It's time to end gym regulations. This one's filed under Cringe. We have our first Cringe, everybody. Apparent Cringe. Let us see. There's no sound on this one. I'm curious. I suppose the visuals speak for themselves. No sound is necessary. This is what they call trying to convey through the use of visual imagery a message, of which I suppose it'll be difficult for us to try and ascertain what they're trying to get at in this clip. I'm not sure if the plot changes. No, that's the end of it. Okay, so this is the entire thing. Titled, once again, it's time for gym regulations. I think this one plays to a bit of a culture war thing that has been obviously going on the internet, where there was a phenomenon of people on both directions. On one side, there is male gym attendees who are frequently saying that it seems like women are simply going to the gym in order to get attention, and yet are quite upset when they receive said attention. It's like,
Well, I mean, she's dressed that way. Am I not allowed to speak to her at any given time?
I mean, the universal rule for this, and this one should apply to all fellas, is that women can dress however they want, and it's not necessarily an invitation for you to have to bother them in their day, right? That being said, of course gyms have dress codes. Yeah, no, you can't work out and hang brain, you know? You can't be doing a fucking barbell lift or something like that, bench press, whatever you have it, and then have your fucking balls just dangling there in the middle of nowhere. There's dress code regulations when you go to any gym, at least the ones that I attend. Normally there is dress code regulations. Oh, nice. All right, so this one I'll be able to talk about. This is a global phenomenon of which I have a little bit of a vested interest. I'll say that. These people are chronically offline. Post from the official account of the Jonas Brothers. The Jonas Brothers grabbed DJ Crazy Times with his brand new hit single and apparently had them open for them in a recent concert experience. Now, there's another really big hit song that's going on right now called Richmond North of Richmond, which is kind of being perceived as an AstroTurf Reaganite anthem. It's supposed to be about the working class and the guy singing about how, like, you know, you work all day for the rich man, all this kind of stuff. But then he's like, people are starving. And then the middle verse of the song is basically him talking about how the poor are starving because of welfare recipients eating fudge rounds. It's just like, what? Whoa, wait, sorry. You think that's what's keeping the poor impoverished? This is bizarre. So that's one, you know, hit viral song that's obviously going off in one corner of the internet. This is another, and this one blew up so much. And one of the reasons why I think that this song and you know, its reception globally is organic is because of the fact that you can see some people are fixated on it, and then other people have no idea what the fuck it is. They're just, I'm sorry, I have no idea what this is. Nick and Kevin invited DJ Crazy Times and Miss Biana Electronica to sing Planet of the Bass for Joe's birthday. So case in point, this is wonderful. This is the internet in action, right? These are people who are unaware of the meme, and so they're seeing the meme in real time. They're reacting to a meme as you are expected to as part of the meme itself. You see, we're having different elements of the human experience all centrifuge into a singular moment of strange. See, and then some people know. Some people know all about it. See, if you're in the know, like for me, I'd be losing my shit. I'd be like, DJ Crazy Times, fuck yes! Alright, this one's filed under cringe. What's wrong with these people?
How to look like you care for the environment. Part 1. Get your friend to film you filling up rubbish bags. With sticks. Part 2.
Yes. Yes, this is cringe. This is extremely cringe. Doing this shit for the gram? Come on. It's so wild. Like, I noticed during, like, a lot of the Black Lives Matter protests that were taking place here in Vancouver, Canada. Yes, it was a global phenomenon. It wasn't just in the United States. But there was a handful of people who were just, like, surrounded by other people taking pictures of them as they were, like, you know, off to the distance looking, like, you know, impassioned and wounded. And, like, one of the few good whites just, like... And you're just like, what the fuck? March. Why we're all here. We're all here to march. Let's march.
Now pull off an Oscar-winning performance of you struggling in the wind.
Oh, this gets worse. This gets... I'm sorry. This is more than just the gram. This is a photo shoot. You know, if you want like slow motion, like what is this fucking Pantene Pro-V? Are we gonna get the hair blowing in the wind and everything?
Part 3. Celebrate your good deed by doing a shitty dance. Part 4. Leave rubbish bags behind once you're done.
Oh, wow. Oh no, that's cringe supremacy right there. I think we have reached peak cringe, you know? This is Elon Musk levels right here. What's a savings?
This is incredible. So this word has been trending and I had to look it up and it blew my mind. You're never, millennials and Gen Z, you're not going to believe what this is. So apparently back in the day, there was something called a savings or a savings account, which essentially was like a second checking account. So, you know, every 2 weeks you get a direct deposit from your paycheck and as soon as the money hits the account, it's gone to bills. Well, back in the day, there was money left over. Like after the bills, there was money left over and they had to put it somewhere. So they put it in a savings account and not.
What? Wait, so it didn't actually just go to the compounded interest that continues to build? I mean, it's so deceptive, isn't it? When you see your credit card statements and it's like, yeah, you owe $2,742 and you're like, yikes. And it's like, well, or You could pay $39 right now. Yeah, just forget about it. Just live in the bliss of the piece of paper going away. Yeah, it can't bother you. At least not for, I don't know, 30 days or so, and then we can get right back to this discussion. Hey, fun story. You now owe about $3,000. Oh, the interest. Yeah, it's high. It's like 20%. So, anyways, you could pay that. If it happens to me, I'm waking up in a Pop Smoke concert. Humor and cringe. Scary Mexican mom with giant spider. All right.
With giant spider.
Look, I'm gonna be real. I'm not an arachnophobe. In fact, I think spiders are really cool. I always have. It's just neat how, like, you know, little teeny spiders here in Canada, they're small little teeny, like, wolf spiders and stuff. They eat the insects that would normally feast upon me, like the mosquitoes and stuff. So I'm always like, oh yeah, you know, our spider friends. Not this nightmare fuel. This, like, there is a limit, you know? Like, even tarantula size, I'm okay with. As long as it moves at the speed of a tarantula, you know, it's kind of just like fuzzy things moving all, like that, still, fine. When it gets to dinner plate, like, Lord, no. No. Nope. When being a Christian becomes illegal. Ah, yes. The most persecuted class.
When the sky comes falling, even...
Stop it! Stop! Stop the whining and the sniveling right now! There are Christians in this world who are oppressed. Yes. There are Christians in North Korea who can't go to worship without risking being thrown into a gulag. There are Christians in Palestine who can't even get to their churches because of Israeli checkpoints and walls.
I'm divided right now, you know? I mean, a lot of the messaging is great. It's the messenger that's kind of disturbing, especially because he opened it up by kind of hearkening to the physical abuse of the church, how they would actually whip the hands of children with rulers and stuff like that if they were being disobedient, especially in residential schools where indigenous children were forced. So it's an odd juxtaposition right now, kind of a broken clock situation. I mean, you could do both. You could have the messaging, but you could also just, like, reject the cloth, you know, and the totality of this kind of weird authoritarian hierarchical structure that is, of course, the Christian faith and dogma. But who am I to interrupt a sermon?
You are not oppressed as a Christian in this country. Quit your sniveling whining. That savior you claim to serve said, take up your cross and follow him, and you're whining and crying because what? Because nobody's letting you treat gay people like shit anymore?
Before you had my attention. But now, sir, you have my interest, and I can't get over it. Again, messaging, awesome. That I would say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 insofar as the messaging is great. It's just, you know, coming from a preacher.
What the hell is wrong with you? Quit whining! Stop it!
I mean, if it works, though, if this is what the MAGA Christians who maybe, you know, need that kind of a lesson, a stern talking to, if you will, if that's what they need, then sure, whatever makes it possible. So this one, jazz piano is hard, of which I fundamentally completely agree.
It has come to my attention that a lot of you are not aware that Jon Benjamin, aka the voice actor who plays Bob from Bob's Burgers and Archer, recorded a jazz album in which he hired an entire...
I did not know this. And this is one of those moments where I'm very happy the internet exists, because I've learned something utterly precious and darling that is wondrous, and I'm better for it now.
Entire band of jazz musicians, and he himself filled in to play jazz piano, except that he doesn't know how to play piano.
That makes me so happy. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, this is the most Jon Benjamin thing in the world. This is so beautiful.
for a whole album.
Oh, wow. You see what I mean? In that there are just moments where the internet can remind you about the utter and complete beauty of humanity. It just juxtaposes with all of the unadulterated horror that the internet can also present you with. So yes, you may log on to a website, say like a twitter.com, and then all of a sudden you're disgusted because of the fact that it's absolutely filled and saturated with Nazis. Yes, and that is what it's become. But oh man, every now and then you get an Jon Benjamin album coming out of nowhere where he clearly is trying his best to play the piano. That's amazing. That makes me really happy. Not only that Jon did that, but that like we now have that to share amongst ourselves. I can't wait. That's the first thing I'm going to do when I'm done recording this is go download that album. Duet troll, sure, why not? Oh, so on TikTok you could do duets, as in someone can initially make a TikTok and then you can respond to that TikTok, and it can be, you know, useful for music if someone is singing like la la la, you can be la da da. But it's also for responses and sometimes for some pretty epic drops.
Archaeologists say they found an ancient entrance to the underworld beneath a church in Mexico.
Open it. Go ahead. At this point, fuck it. Open it. Open it. I will sit on my front stoop with a drink in my hand and I will choose between the aliens and the demons. At this point, I believe it's already open. Go ahead, open it. What else is going to happen? A virgin has already lit the black flame candle. Look around. Open it. Go ahead. I'm ready.
I guess everything's just it is what it is. Society being what it is. I'm a millennial myself, so I understand for the Gen Zs of the world, sometimes it's probably got to be like, yeah, if there was in fact like, you know, the Ark of the Covenant or something, it's most likely already been opened, right? It's like things are decidedly fucked. The world is on fire. So that's bad, right? That's what the bad guy in the movies would be doing, would be unleashing upon the world. So we got that right. And now to take off my headphones to reveal that I had ears all along. So there you have it, friends, a collection of hilarious, cringe, and sad, and sometimes emotional moments on the internet. Again, TikTok is like any other vessel. It shows us the best and the worst of humanity, and cringe is no exception. There will be the most premium and delicious of cringe, and there will also be hilarious and utterly amazing moments. Now, if you'd like to see more videos like this in which I investigate the cringe or the joy of the world, please let me know in the comments. After all, your engagement with the algorithm helps me out directly and most likely in a financial way. But in the meantime, be wonderful to each other. Tell other people you love them and hug them if you have the opportunity to, especially if it's someone that you miss. And consensually, obviously. Don't hug people who don't like having their physical space impacted. But you're not one of those people, are you? Oh, he's out. Thanks so much for watching, friends. If you want to support everything we do, please go over to patreon.com/the Serfs. If it wasn't for every single one of the wonderful people whose names we're about to show you on screen, none of this would be possible. We also use your money to produce a whole bunch of content from a lefty perspective, including movie reviews on cinema survivors, and then short explainer videos that can take really complex topics, such as, is it okay to reteach history? Should we do revisionist history? What is the difference between racism against marginalized communities, and perhaps what is now being called anti-white racism and stuff like that, in simple animated explainer videos. We're doing those over at Mind Explosions, which you can check out here. So please, and by the way, the old traditional stuff, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, thumbs up, and then writing what you think. I mean, I could do a fake sales pitch for this if you want. Hey friends, we're really curious to know what you think about the topic we were just talking about. Can you please sound off in a lot of words and then debate amongst yourselves about what you think about topic and how exciting topic was, and then discuss topic down below. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback, because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This show is produced by amazing people like you, and if you want to help us out, please consider donating over at patreon.com/the Serfs. The show is made possible thanks to Amazing Fletch, Anna Loves Riley, Ariane McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Doug Cady, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Laminia Panza, Matthew Scarborough, Multimondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Pappy, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby K, Sir Nickus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Demo, Tech Tink, Trevbot EXE, Words Greenwood, and not to mention all of the amazing and fabulous people you now see before you.